In this webinar, I am going to introduce the Enterprise AI Engineering Methodology, or EAEM. This is a top-level methodology for helping organizations apply AI in a structured, governed, repeatable, and risk-aware way. The goal is to move beyond scattered AI experimentation and toward durable enterprise capability. EAEM exists because enterprise AI is not just about getting output from a model. It is about deciding what work should be pursued, structuring systems correctly, and moving toward production safely. Many organizations can buy AI tools, access models, and build prototypes. That still does not create enterprise capability. Models can generate outputs, but they do not define workflows, establish accountability, enforce governance, integrate safely into production systems, or manage operational risk. In practice, most AI initiatives do not fail because of lack of tools. They fail because of lack of structure. Common patterns include too many ideas with no prioritization, unclear workflows, unstable implementations, weak governance, and premature automation. EAEM exists to reduce those risks by giving organizations a structured way to move from idea to implementation. The central idea behind EAEM is simple. AI does not become enterprise capability by being purchased. It becomes enterprise capability by being engineered. That distinction matters. Buying tools may enable experimentation. Engineering creates structure, accountability, integration, operational safety, and repeatability. EAEM is designed to provide the architectural, organizational, and execution structure required to convert AI capabilities into durable enterprise infrastructure. The clearest way to understand EAEM on first pass is as a three-part enterprise AI model. First, decide the right AI work. Second, architect the AI system. Third, build it safely. This framing matters because executives do not need all of the deeper engineering detail at first. They need a clear mental model that shows strategy, architecture, and execution as one connected system. That is exactly what EAEM provides. Underneath the three-part model, EAEM maps to three major working layers. Decide the right AI work maps to the Enterprise AI Operating Model. Architect the AI system maps to the Enterprise AI Architecture, or EAA. Build it safely maps to the AI engineering discipline, which includes the execution controls needed to move from prototype and MVP toward production in a controlled way. This structure helps leaders understand the methodology quickly without needing the full internal detail. EAEM is organized as a layered system. Each layer addresses a different dimension of enterprise AI adoption, and together they form a complete methodology. The Enterprise AI Operating Model governs how organizations decide what AI to build. Enterprise AI Architecture defines how enterprise AI systems must be structured. The AI engineering discipline provides execution discipline and guardrails. And the implementation and validation layer demonstrates repeatable real-world application through structured scenarios, labs, and workshops. EAEM is not a single diagram. It is a modular system designed to expand without losing structural clarity. The first major layer is the Enterprise AI Operating Model. This layer defines how organizations select, govern, and prioritize AI initiatives. AI adoption is not purely technical, it is organizational. Enterprises must decide which applications to pursue, which risks are acceptable, which resources are available, and which projects should move forward. The operating model introduces a structured decision environment through governance, cross-functional evaluation, portfolio prioritization, risk transparency, and decision accountability. Its job is to make sure organizations work on the right AI problems, not simply the most interesting ones. The enterprise AI operating model matters because it creates discipline before architecture and engineering effort are wasted. Without a selection and governance layer, organizations often chase disconnected ideas, fund weak pilots, or move concepts forward before value and feasibility are clear. EAEM treats this front-end decision structure as essential because bad selection upstream causes downstream waste, confusion, and political friction. In blunt terms, the operating model prevents random AI activity from masquerading as strategy. As you can probably tell, the Enterprise AI operating model is a substantial framework in its own right. That is why we offer a dedicated free web page and webinar on the operating model, as well as paid workshops and consulting for organizations that want deeper guidance. The second major layer is Enterprise AI Architecture, or EAA. If the operating model helps determine what AI work should move forward, EAA defines how approved AI systems should be structured. It establishes construction order, separation of concerns, system layering, governance boundaries, and autonomy boundaries. This is the structural blueprint required to build reliable, governable, AI-enabled systems. Without that structure, AI remains fragmented experimentation. With it, AI becomes part of enterprise infrastructure. EAA is organized around 6 architectural pillars. In executive-friendly language, these can be understood as AI strategy, work definition, capability layer, AI core applications, interfaces, and autonomous systems and AI agents. The point is that enterprise AI systems are not treated as one blob. They are broken into distinct architectural concerns that can be engineered, governed, and matured in sequence. As you can probably tell, the enterprise AI architecture is also a substantial framework in its own right. That is why we offer a dedicated free web page and webinar on the EAA, as well as paid workshops and consulting for organizations that want deeper guidance. One of the most important architectural ideas in EAEM is that the pillars are not random categories. They enforce a construction order. Strategy comes before work definition. Work definition comes before stable capabilities. Capabilities come before reusable AI services. Interfaces come before agents. This matters because the sequence prevents premature automation and uncontrolled autonomy. In other words, EAEM does not start by asking, how do we add an agent here? It starts by asking, do we understand the work, the capabilities, the boundaries, and the operational risk well enough to justify greater autonomy? The third major layer is the AI engineering discipline. This is the execution control layer that applies the architecture consistently across projects and organizations. Its role is to provide stage-gated progression, controlled transitions between layers, sourcing discipline, governance overlays, and observability requirements. This is the part that keeps execution under control as a system moves from prototype and MVP towards serious production exposure. When EAEM says build it safely, it does not mean move slowly for the sake of caution. It means apply discipline at the right transition points. That includes validating whether modeling is converged, whether capabilities are stable, whether centralization is justified, and whether autonomy can be introduced safely. It also means maintaining traceability and controlled progression as the system evolves. In public terms, the core message is simple. Do not advance unstable work, do not automate undefined work, and do not introduce autonomy until governance and observability are in place. The final layer of EAEM is implementation and validation. This is where the repeatability of the methodology is demonstrated through structured scenarios, vertical slices, labs, and workshops. The framework materials reference examples such as finance, IT operations, and HR scenarios. The purpose of this layer is to prove that the methodology is not just conceptual, it can be applied repeatedly across real enterprise use cases. This is also where training, demonstration, and client-specific deep dives naturally belong. What makes EAEM different is that it bridges three worlds that are often disconnected in enterprise AI efforts: executive strategy, enterprise architecture, and engineering execution. Most AI frameworks live in only one of those worlds. EAEM connects all three. It is positioned away from prompt tips, tool comparison chatter, AI news commentary, and generic consulting. Its focus is architecture-first AI adoption, governed deployment, durable enterprise systems, and Microsoft-aligned enterprise environments. For organizations that want a structured path from experimentation to enterprise capability, EAEM provides that system. This webinar is the overview. The deeper mechanics, artifacts, and applied exercises belong in workshops and consulting engagements. One additional way to understand EAEM is as a shared enterprise language. It does not just help organizations decide the right AI work, architect the AI system, and build it safely. It also gives executives, business departments, AI innovation teams, and architecture and engineering teams a common way to describe the same initiative. In this example, everyone can see the same AI initiative, the same business use case, and the same current stage. That matters because enterprise AI work often breaks down when different groups are using different words, different assumptions, and different definitions of progress. EAEM helps reduce that confusion. EAEM can be supported by a simple dashboard that gives the organization a clear way to communicate what initiative was selected, why it matters, and where it is in the life cycle. That shared language improves alignment internally, and it also makes it easier for leadership to communicate AI initiatives clearly to boards, investors, customers, and other external stakeholders. EAEM is language that everyone understands. If you want to explore EAEM in more detail, we offer additional free framework resources at ain.net.com, along with live workshops and consulting for organizations that want deeper application. You can also explore our dedicated framework pages and webinars covering the Enterprise AI Operating Model and Enterprise AI Architecture. For more practical, applied enterprise AI insights, visit ain.net.com, where you will find free blog articles, white papers, infographics, videos, case studies, and more. Thank you for watching.